Today, what I really want to talk to you about is the native customer experience, okay? In this room, we're all marketers, or we're all, in the industry. But I'd like us to channel the other side for the next 15 minutes, right? Think as customers. Think as consumers. What are your daily experiences like with ads online? Honestly, what was the last ad you saw? Do you guys remember it? Did it offer utility? No. That's okay. That's the case for a lot of people, and there's studies done around this. Ultimately, people want better experiences online. In fact, what we've seen is 79% of people say experiences are just as important as a company's products and services. When you think about it, look at the DTC space, for example, over the last few years, and the boom that we've seen, all because it's founded on customer experiences throughout the purchase. And to compound that, what we're seeing is the fact that digital advertising needs to evolve from a display perspective, right? We see that 87% of people find digital advertising to be Now look, much of digital aesthetics from a display perspective haven't really changed. But if we're improving the customer experience at all levels, from your website to your app to in-store, then why shouldn't it start with the first impression? The ad tech's there, the data's there, the creative wherewithal should be there. There's been no channel that's evolved to the extent of native advertising over the last few years. And really, it kind of shifts with digital and mobile consumption of the user. So we've seen great evolution there. And for us, it's in our identity. It's a belief that ads shouldn't stay still. They should move at the pace of a user throughout the purchase. Verizon Media, over the last few years, has brought together premium editorial owned and operated brands. You know some of them, Yahoo, Yahoo Finance, HuffPost, TechCrunch, along with our partners MSN and Samsung, molded it together with first-party data signals, mail, search, purchase receipts, content consumption, and created a first-in-market native advertising platform. It is so important to get native right for Verizon. I can't stress that enough. And ultimately, the space is growing. Just some quick eMarketer stats on native advertising. It's about a $40 billion business this year, right? That's double what it was in 2017, almost double what it was in 2017. And if we look at the overall pie of display advertising, native advertising actually represents 61% of that investment. What's also interesting is that we are actually seeing the share of wallet increase for non-social native. We want to figure out why that is, right? And luckily, there was a study done on this. Now, I'm going to read this word for word because I'm not good at memorizing, so forgive me on this. But a recent neuroscience study conducted by the Association for Online Publishers and Newsworks, yeah, it's real, examined how the brain responds to advertising in social versus premium editorial environments. The results showed that while social media is better at delivering ad attention, premium editorial environments create stronger engagement, higher emotional connection, and greater long-term memory encoding, which is proven to correlate with decision-making and purchase behavior. Now look, what this tells me is obviously social and native goes hand in hand, and it's great for engagement. But the non-social space, it really helps with the overall emotions you feel long-term with the brand. The space over the last few years has gotten kind of confusing, and I think kind of because of what we just talked about. There are a lot of non-social native players out there. There are a lot of non-social native formats out there. What even is it anymore? Is it in-feed? Is it the bottom of the page? Is it a content carousel? Does it sit above the inbox? And then all the players that you have, the partners that you have. So I understand the difficulties in kind of evaluating partners. Your definition of native might be wildly different than the person sitting next to you. So I understand, hey, what partner does what? What partner sits on what supply? What format should we run for our brand? What's right for our brand? We understand the complexities. So what we want to do is really simplify this to you. Native starts and ends with the customer. It's a value exchange with the customer. With every impression that we serve, what are we offering the customer? What's in it for them? What's the value add? Is it, testing the product within the impression itself? Curating the incentive based off of the signals that we're getting them? What is it? As I mentioned before, we have all the tools to build out this better experience to the customer. What I want to show you now are a couple of examples on how we're working with partners to do just that. There's been some unbelievable work done by some of these partners that deserves highlighting. Feed ads. I'm sure a lot of you here in the room are familiar with feeds, obviously, but we're doing some unbelievable things in the feed space and working with partners to do that. Why do we love them? Well, they automate the entire creative process, and they allow us to target users who have engaged with your brand, engaged with your products in a different environment. In addition to that, we're able to use those data signals that we provided earlier to target new users to your brand. Maybe users who are interested in the product but haven't engaged with your brand just yet. In addition to that, we're able to utilize the product feed to create a number of different ad formats. So one feed, many different formats. I want to highlight the JCPenney example here, who's a great partner of ours. This is how we're translating the inbox experience into an e-commerce experience. When a user receives mail from JCPenney and then clicks through to the actual message, we convert the experience into an e-commerce experience. We show them recent items that they viewed on jcpenney.com and also products that maybe they didn't see at jcpenney.com, but we know they're in the marketing based off of the signals they're providing. For us, this is our philosophy exemplified. It's how we're adding value to a user's daily experience in a non-intrusive way. I also want to touch on how we're allowing users to actually engage with the product at the impression level. So in the case of Tank Games, one of our mobile gaming partners, we created a native advertising unit that allows users to do just that. Play the actual game, see how it feels, see if you enjoy it, and then you can click through to the actual game itself and purchase the game. But we're allowing them to do that at the impression level. In the case of Purple with Touchpoint ads, we're allowing users to engage with different products within a rich image and then get all the information they need to make the right click-through decision. Let's view a couple more examples in action. Recently, we worked with Sam's Club to create an experience that allows users to directly save and offer a promotion to their mobile wallet, be it Android or Apple. Now, this is great because we actually added the value where if a user was near a Sam's Club location, or even throughout the promotion date or when the promotion was about to expire, we would send them push notifications, allowing them or incentivizing them to really utilize that promotion that they saved from the ad impression. Now, interesting, 70% of users found the ad to be helpful, and a majority of the users said it improved the overall shopping experience. This is a really great example, too. This is something we worked on with Pottery Barn on, and they're a retailer who really grasped AR and still use it heavily. We worked with Pottery Barn to go through sort of a carousel of their new line of products and actually put that product within a user's living room, all through an ad impression. They'll click through the ad itself, see how it looks inside their living room, maybe their patio, their home, and actually be able to feel it out before they actually make the purchase. Now, what's great about this unit is we saw an average engagement time of 2.5 minutes, 2.4 minutes, sorry. Now think about that. We have a hard enough time getting somebody to engage with an article page, read content for 2.5 minutes, let alone ad content. So this is something we're really proud of and we're seeing retailers adopt. Another retailer that really gets customer experience right is Macy's, and they do this at every rung of the funnel, be it low funnel initiatives with feed-based advertising to mid-tier initiatives where we're serving products to users based off their interest signals and new lines of clothing. So then a user can make the informed decision to decide what dress to click on, go through, but we're doing this at every rung of the funnel, and customer experience is at the focus. Now look, I know the native space can be daunting. It's ever expanding. Who knows what some of these formats will look like in a year? There'll probably be more. But for us, what's most exciting is the focus on value exchange and utility. Now, if we put utility at the forefront, we're creating the experiences that users actually want, and also creating a framework for how premium brands should actually be utilizing native advertising. Thank you for your time, everybody.